how having somebody tell me that they were going to shove their foot so far up my ass changed my sales career. When I was knocking on doors in college, I was in Connecticut. And it was my first summer. I was working in this small town, and for some reason I was getting a little bit more weird vibes from the people that I was talking to, and people were kind of looking at me funny. And eventually I get pulled over by this cop, and I had my permit and I had all this, and he basically told me that there was somebody that was pretending to sell things door to door and then breaking into people's houses. So it just so happened that I was in that area knocking on doors selling educational products. Me being a stupid college kid, I kind of got in a little bit of an argument with a cop, and it basically ended with him saying that he was going to shove his foot so far up my ass if I didn't get out of his town. And that was the only community that I actually had a permit to be able to work in. And I'm just sitting there in my car like, what do I do? You know, I can go back to where I was staying. I could just go home. I could leave for the summer. Like, man, this is tough. You know, I could sit in my car and cry for 3 hours. And I just kind of thought in my head, one of the things that my manager had told me was, what's the next right thing that you can do right? So I'm like, okay, well, let me look at my map. Let me see where I can go. And so I found a town that was right next to me, and I hadn't figured out, like, could I go work there yet? I'm just going to go start talking to people. I'll go knock on doors and see what happens. And I had so much of this fear and anxiety, and it was just when I made that decision, like, okay, I'm just going to take action on what I know is the next right thing I can do right. And come to find out, that first house that I knocked on ended up being one of the coolest families that I met all summer. They invited me in. They ended up picking up some stuff for their kids, and it was just this turning point in my head of just take action. Go to the next thing. It's so easy to overthink things and have analysis by paralysis, but take action. Ready, fire, aim. Like, do the things that is going to get you to that next step. And then once you're at that next step, what's the next right thing that you can do right? And take action on that. I challenge you to leave a comment below, and if there was an ounce of value from this, go ahead and push that subscribe so you see my face again.